I gotta say, I do love the visual storytelling they got going on here. It's like you know everything you need to know about Peter and where he is at in his life within the first minute of the game. Who else can toss 2 slices of bread in the toaster besides Peter? Gotta say, while I do love the new advanced suit, the classic is, well, classic, and always a welcomed option. You can tell Insomniac put a lot of love into this. And oh my god, man, what can I say about the swinging that hasn't already been said? Man, I remember the first time playing this and it was so satisfying to just swing around the city before going to capture Fisk. And also, what else can I say about the city that hasn't been said already? This is by far the first game I have seen that has a real-life open-world city for the player to play around in. That doesn't feel so empty and boring, it's so full of life.
Morning, guys! Who's ready for their hot, fresh cup of bodily harm?
You know, from someone who was obsessed with the Arkham games, I can personally say that the fighting in this game, for those who played the Arkham games, is familiar enough to get started, but different enough to where it'll definitely be a challenge.
Or back up, and lock down the airspace.
Yuri, you okay?
If he makes it out of that building, we're gonna lose.
Gotta love how Spider-Man is polite enough to wait for permission from his pal Yuri to give him the green light to
Do your thing. Yes!
Sorry to break it to you, but you do not got this, buddy.
Also, I know it's a coincidence, and I don't know why I love it so much, but obviously Yuri Lowenthal voices Spider-Man, and his cop partner in crime is also named Yuri. Good to know the name Yuri is gender neutral. Learn something new every day.
I guess this is what they call a hostile workplace.
Another thing, definitely a win for the sake of having the spider sense actually make sense to the fighting mechanics versus Batman just having theoretical eyes in the back of his head. One thing I really do love about this game is how they just not mix a bunch of lore from the comic books together, but the games as well. In Ultimate Spider-Man on PS2, you had to web people to the ground to keep them down. While it isn't the exact same mechanic application, having it in the game is much appreciated for us Spidey fans.
I prefer a more direct approach.
While I definitely think one of the downsides of this game is the crawling mechanics, I do love the wall running in this game and how much it adds to the fast-paced tempo of the traversal.
That's my, hi, Aunt May.
What is all that noise?
Watching a superhero movie. What's up?
Oh, Peter, you kidder, you. But seriously, this feels like Spider-Man I used to read in the comics when I was younger. Gotta love how gullible Peter thinks Aunt May is. She's just always going along with it.
Listen, I gotta go.
Okay, love you.
Love you too.
I don't think I noticed this before, but my god, how hilarious of a sight would it have been for Peter to say love you too to a thug buddy of yours he just kicked across the room. Hence the...
Get down here and fight like a man!
That's a cute outfit. Did your husband give it to you?
I don't know why. That line just reminded me of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. And if the game does that, it's automatically a win.
If I go in this way, they'll destroy all the evidence. I should look for...
I love how subtle the spider sense is in this game, at least from a non-combative standpoint. Comparing it to games like Spider-Man 3 on the PS3, where it just turns everything black and white, it keeps the beautiful graphics and bright color palette visible while making it realistic, at least in my eyes. Spider-Sense was never his version of Detective Vision. Sorry for all the comparisons to Arkham. It just gave him the ability to know what is around him using his senses, like Netflix's Daredevil's...
The world's on fire.
His senses are working overtime to give him an understanding of where everything is at without directly pointing it out.
Let's see just how good their security is. Aw, you guys forgot the latest kernel patch.
Another not so subtle way of showing how Peter is pretty much the smartest guy in the room wherever he goes.
Get past him. Destroy everything.
With the game this polished, I think you can let this slide.
Not mattered.
Well, there was that time I took down a pompous, overstuffed crime lord before breakfast.
One thing I do appreciate is how the combos work in this game versus Arkham. They are a lot more forgiving. You don't have to hit someone every second to keep the streak going. And as someone who likes to see those combos high when I play, I appreciate it.
Spider-Man! We can't move! We're pinned down!
I'll lift it. When you're free, get out fast. If you can walk, help the injured. Got it?
Nothing else to say besides how badass this is.
Go, go, go!
Can't believe I haven't even talked about the score yet. John Paisano, you really outdid yourself here. This is definitely going down as one of the best Spider-Man scores. It has such a sense of awe and swells with a sense of victory and makes the player feel like they really are Spider-Man.
Man, how'd the bomb squad guys get through this?
Gotta love the seamless parkour system that Insomniac put in the game. The technicalities behind the coding of that is just absolutely astounding to me.
Lead the way. We'll be right behind you. Heads up, boss.
Oh, come on! Like you didn't know Spider-Man was gonna have the jump on you? Silly guards are silly.
So you guys were in bed with Fisk all along? Oh, no, I'll never get that image out of my head.
Hands down one of the best quips in the game. In my humble yet correct opinion.
Writing your memoirs? Don't forget the hyphen between spider and man.
Get the chopper ready. I won't be long.
This year was definitely the year for the Kingpin, wasn't it? I mean, we had Daredevil Season 3, Into the Spider-Verse, and now this?
Oh, for me? You shouldn't have.
Gotta wait for an opening.
I really do love the realistic acrobatics Insomniac gave Spider-Man in his dodge animation. This function reminds me of a much better version of the dodging that was in Spider-Man 3 on PS2.
Good God, now!
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
I will always love the technological excuse they gave to give Spider-Man expressive eyes.
So, should we kiss now?
Whoa there, man. You need to be in the correct scenery. You need to be in a dark alley, where it's pouring, and Kingpin is wearing a see-through top. Which, I don't really know if anyone wants to see that. I don't know why, but I always went out of my way to do this in the game. It's so satisfying. Dr. Octo shadowing. Try saying that 5 times fast.
Hold on!
Man. You smell that? It smells like fried octopus in here now.
Circuit burned out. Damn it.
I will admit, this was definitely my least favorite aspect of the game. However, I do appreciate that they did make the effort to make you feel as intelligent as Peter is. And honestly, if you really didn't care, you can just not do them. Gotta love a developer that gives you options. The addition of the point launch system, which borrows heavily from the web rush in the Amazing Spider-Man games, is a welcome feature, as it's one of that game's best qualities.
Welcome to Just the Facts with J. Jonah Jameson, alerting you to the threats you don't even know about.
drzDE Paul is definitely up there for one of the best casting choices for J. Jonah Jameson. I also love the different direction they took with this character. I mean, it's obviously a parody of Alex Jones and InfoWars, but no matter your stance on him, I think we can all agree that it's freaking hilarious.
Maybe an award-winning reporter with decades on the job like me.
Blink and you'll miss it. Spider-Man toys in the window.
From his elevated position, Spider Cop spies his destination. A second surveillance tower.
I remember people saying how they didn't really like the Spider Cop joke in reviews. I remember laughing my butt off whenever he did bring it up again. A solid running joke if I do say so myself.
Oh, wow. One of my old backpacks from high school.
While I do think the backpacks are a forced addition to the game, because, you know, Spider-Man's webs dissolve after an hour, I do love how they connect to the MCU Spider-Man movies because Peter always lost his backpack.
I need a new backpack.
That's 5.
More of them? Guys, if you worked this hard at a legit job, you wouldn't need to be criminals.
Sound Logic brought to you by Spider-Man.
Yes. I guess if you design his equipment, you're bound to be a target too.
Gotta love how Dr. Octavius gave him an out to think that his secret was still safe. You can tell they have a solid repertoire together. They have a really strong bond with great chemistry.
White Spider, huh?
To the point where he designs a brand new suit for him overnight. I mean, I still would be very thankful, but if I were Peter, I would be like, man, Octavius has to know. Ooh, gotta love how they're teasing the new suit reveal, only showing him as he darts across the screen, or only showing his hands or his feet as the music crescendos into this awesome, now iconic Spider-Man moment of the suit reveal. Not to mention, if you look closely at the suit, the fabric ripples as Spider-Man is flying through the air. Little details like this really go a long way.
Hello, New York! Haha! New suit, same old me.
I thought you killed him that one time. Maybe you did.
While as a gameplay mechanic, the danger notification that pops up in the stealth areas makes everything so much easier, story-wise, it just shows how smart Peter is to be able to think of an extra solution to help him take out a room of bad guys quietly. While sometimes the camera angles aren't perfect in closed areas like this, the cinematic feel you get from these finishing moves is so satisfying.
Place is locked down, Captain. Actually, webbed down.
I don't know why, but this always reminded me of the pileup you saw in the beginning of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Secret of the Ooze. And that's a win, because that movie brought us this fantastic GIF, or GIF, I don't really know, however the hell you say it, I'm kind of impartial. Okay, that's just cool.
All units, civilians are trapped in their vehicles following a severe accident. Please proceed to Bowery.
How and why does this game do such a good job for making you feel so obligated to go and help in these low-level crimes or accidents to help people? You really do feel like a piece of crap if you don't go and help out. Kudos to Insomniac for breaking into my psyche like that. I know I haven't said really anything about it, but I really do love this suit. Even when it was first shown off at E3, I loved the creative liberties they took with putting their own spin on the suit. And what better way to make it an Insomniac suit than a huge white logo on the front? It's simple yet genius, man.
Peter, what a nice surprise.
Need some help?
Yeah, sure. Oh, there are some heavy boxes.
No, I mean, not yet.
Peter has always been the worst, yet somehow it always works out for him when it comes to improvising.
Peter, what is it? Come on, you can tell me.
Man, they also nailed Aunt May in this game as well, didn't they? I mean, she's closer to the Rosemary Harris Aunt May versus the hot Marissa Tomei Aunt May, and I think that was a good decision.
5 years ago, you walked in here and told me you were inspired by my mission to help others. Now it's you who inspires me.
I don't know why I think this, but they nailed the character model for Martin Lee. Well, I mean, obviously it isn't real. The character model is definitely the closest to breaking the uncanny valley in the whole game, in my opinion. Hey, man, that building brings me back to Spider-Man on the PS1. Man, those were the days. It's crazy to think how much has changed in the last 2 decades. It's nuts.
Buddy, if I had a nickel for every don't move...
Hey, Pete.
Cool way to introduce MJ by having her knock out a demon. She ain't Gwen Stacy. She don't need no man. No Spider-Man, that is. No, no takers.
So Robbie's got you covering a break-in for the Bugle?
Well, Robbie doesn't technically know I'm here.
She's basically Lois Lane now.
Fisk cut Peter open like a pork sausage with this the first time they fought.
Little details like this are awesome. They reward the player for exploring in the slower parts of the game like this. I will admit, this is definitely tied for least favorite part of the game, but when you go back to playing Spider-Man, it's so satisfying.
I can't get over this image. So much tension between these two figures.
Mr. Negative shadowing.
This is a really lovely space.
It is, and this will be the last time you see it.
That was unnecessarily aggressive, lady.
Story.
What do you mean he had to reschedule?
Gotta give a win for how quickly the guys at LongPlayArchive went through the actual sneaking portion. That's impressive. Win for that, guys. Congratulations. Being able to think on your feet in times of serious stress is no easy feat.
Good to see you, Pete.
Yeah, you too. Not exactly how I pictured us meeting again, though.
Funny. It's exactly how I pictured it.
I'm totally stealing this from CinemaWins, full disclosure, but flirting. Gullible bad guys are gullible. Try saying that 5 times fast.
Huh. Looks antique. I think I know someone who could help track down where this came from.
I know it's subtle, but I do love the sheer of the light you see on the wooden mask and the reflection you see in the whites of Spider-Man's eyes.
I just talked to Craig. You are not the reporter he was sending. You don't even work for Heritage Arts.
Never said I did.
She definitely had her pin in a corner. I mean, she technically didn't say she worked for the Heritage.
You know Oscorp would hire you in a heartbeat, right? One phone call to Heritage.
Sure, but Dr. Octavius's work will help millions. I'm right where I want to be, right where I should be.
Another thing this game does really well is showing the giving, altruistic nature of Peter, and how he just really wants to make the world better.
Like money and keys, and raspberry lip balm.
Peter, you're wrong. It's not raspberry, it's...
This is a trick question. Strawberries.
Saved by the siren.
The thing I know that has been beaten to the ground is how they took the character of Peter somewhere a lot of people haven't seen him before. He's older, more experienced, and has different things going on in his life other than high school or college. He's got girl problems with the stereotypical perfect girl of his dreams. It's realistic and down to earth, and it's an absolutely awesome breath of fresh air.
Love seeing you two together again. You always were my favorites.
Stan Lee, you are the man. May you rest in peace, brother. And I know I'm stealing this from CinemaWins. I mean, what else haven't I taken from his channel, to be honest? But Stan Lee is always a win. Man, I love how the city looks at night. It feels like the city itself is its own character, and it plays 2 different roles during the day and during the night.
Hi, Herman.
Man, he already knows what's up. He's such a joke. Spider-Man just calls him by his name. He doesn't even call him by his villain name. Herman. Such a disappointing name. Your parents must have hated you, dude.
Now let's talk.
Regardless of how pathetic your name is, Herman, Shocker's suit is still pretty badass. I'm not gonna lie.
You know what, Herman? You have like 0 personality, but your suit is awesome. Can we talk design details?
Spider-Man would be amazing in MachinimaWins.
You still have that mask from the gallery?
Yeah. I'm actually on my way to the Feast Center now to ask Martin Lee about it.
Martin Lee? Why?
He has a degree in art history.
What a coincidence.
Eviction proceedings will start Friday unless full payment is received by close of business. Good day.
Man, Peter can never catch a break. But, I mean, I guess that's why he's so relatable, yeah?
I could use a snack.
That bagel does actually look pretty good.
Well, she wanted an expert opinion on it, and I know you have a degree.
And this might be the first time I actually get to use it.
College in a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen. Wait, hold on a second. Steve?
Got some time to kill before
Steve,
Doc needs me at the lab.
did it just actually come from nighttime to daytime?
His tardiness is starting to become a pattern. Come on, Parker. You're better than this.
One thing I never understood about any Spider-Man game is that, yes, he's running late, but he's freaking Spider-Man. He literally is like 10 minutes away max. Just say your taxi is stuck in traffic but are 10 minutes out, problem solved. But I guess it does at least stay consistent with Peter's life always working against him. So again, relatability is a win. While he is super strong, Spider-Man is not invincible. Getting punched would still hurt, even if it's from some run-of-the-mill New York thugs. I will never understand the physics of how this move works, but man is it cool. And hey, looks like they borrowed something from the Amazing Spider-Man franchise. Yes, I know those movies aren't the best, but come on. They definitely got Spider-Man looking cool down.
How does it work? Just like a natural arm. You think of what you want it to do, and...
While I know that this is just a game, it's still incredible that these two were able to figure that out. Makes me want to be smarter, instead of making YouTube videos talking about video games. Oh well.
That's it. I'm calling the mayor's office directly.
Peter Parker, how the hell are you?
They definitely put the inspiration for his character design a bit too much on the nose there, didn't they? It's like Trump had a drunk sex baby with Carrot Top.
Thank you for your great service to our country. These folks will escort you to Oscorp Robotics.
Wouldn't that be a conflict of interest? I feel like as mayor of New York City, you would have to sign a non-compete agreement stating that as mayor, you wouldn't hinder competition from directly competing with your company that you had before you were mayor. I mean, I'm definitely no law major, so, you know, if any law majors are watching, let me know in the comments below. Either way, I am winning the slick trickery Osborn is pulling here. Because while it is a crappy thing to do, that's what Insomniac wanted to do. So it makes us feel some animosity towards him, and that's their goal. And I have to win that if that's their goal.
Easy.
Ooh! Hinting at the main reason Otto pushes for the arms in the future. You can tell his body's starting to fail on him, but he's trying to hide it.
Harry left me a message about these before he left for you.
Pete, hey, I need a favor. My mom's pet project was research stations that could benefit the public. Now, I launched them, but now that I'm away, Oscorp's gonna shut them down unless they prove their value.
While these side missions are a bit ham-fisted with their execution, you gotta win a pro-environment message.
Oops, guess we're stuck in here for a while. Wanna play 20 questions? No? How about we thumb wrestle? Okay, face punch it is.
As my man High Top Films would say,
quips.
I'm just kidding. We aren't really, friends. He's not my man or anything. But High Top, if you're watching this, please, I would love to do a collaboration with you. I'm a huge fan, so let me know what's up. Okay, so his body is able to receive as much damage as he can give. Hey, Steve, I'm confused.
Why are you doing this, Herman?
Because if I don't kill me!
See, right here, Shocker is a lot more dangerous because he isn't fighting to get away. He's fighting to frickin' survive. And I always liked how you could feel his sense of urgency with the voice actor's guttural growls and pangs of effort. Spider-Man definitely has the movements of a spider. I mean, it sounds a bit redundant, I know, but he seems like he'd be impossible to get off of you once he's on you, even if you were like Galactus-sized.
These mask guys! What do they want the money for?
Don't know! Don't care! As soon as I finish the job, I'm gone!
Why would you go into crime business with someone who is so good at consistently getting caught by Spider-Man? Let alone a guy named Herman.
Let's kick it up a notch!
This was always my favorite move in the game. So OP. Love this animation, man. I would always go out of my way just to do it.
Is this the mosh pit? Great!
I'm sorry to say, Spider-Man, but we aren't at a ska show in the suburbs.
What's your name?
Officer Davis.
Oh, introduction to Miles. Man, this year is honestly a year for Miles too, man. I mean, he went from a meh character to the comics to being absolutely beloved in two different entertainment mediums.
Shh, demons.
Man, gotta love how well these two work together, even though this is their first time meeting. Shows an honest to God mutual respect for one another, and that's just awesome. He just pistol whipped the snot out of that guy. Most likely literally. And that was badass. While you totally saw that coming, that was still so freaking cool. Jefferson Davis, you have earned yourself a fine win, my friend. Gotta love how Spider-Man gives him all the praise. He truly is the definition of humility, and why I probably wouldn't make a good superhero.
So what's your end?
I don't have one. I just listen.
Hey all you people watching who want to get into journalism. You should live by these words. No angle, just listen. Honesty is definitely the best policy. Man, I really do wish they treated at least one of the train loading scenes like the deleted elevator scene from Spider-Man 2. Some guy coming up to him giving him marketing advice would be gold.
Empire Sanitation, this is Eddie.
Yeah, hi. I'm trying to track down some items that were accidentally picked up from a dumpster outside my apartment.
Dumpster number?
This is by far probably the best mission in the game. It gives you a real look into the struggles of being a broke superhero.
Not there either, huh?
Love how he knows it's just Peter calling. Like, how many people call the trash company at night, you know?
Alright, how am I gonna talk my way onto MJ's couch? Hi MJ, it's Peter. Any chance I could stay over to— Oh, that's too far.
Ha! He's so relatable, man. I mean, what guy hasn't had this inner monologue with himself?
What was she looking at?
Oh man, that portrait of JJ speaks to me on so many levels.
Can't believe I haven't slept since the Fisk takedown. Gotta start taking better care of myself.
Bro, how in shape do you have to be to swing around all day, fighting bad guys, while doing enough to make any normal person tired with work and volunteering on top of that? I mean, hell, I'm just sitting here reading a script I wrote up, and I'm already tired.
Martin.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
Mr. Lee. Ooh, looking snazzy, my dude. Even though you're about to do some horrible atrocities, gotta respect the outfit. I mean, it's kind of like the Nazis. Hey now, hey. They did some awful shit. We all know this. But come on. They definitely had a sense of style. Hashtag inappropriate joke of the day.
Tried mixing up a prototype web fluid at Oscorp while Harry had his internship there.
I literally noticed this last second, but on the sticker the text says TASM 1965-31, which is issue 31 of The Amazing Spider-Man from 1965. And part of that story has to do with the possible death of Aunt May, so it seems like there's some known inspiration for the direction they took, huh?
Jeff, I'm here.
What do you see?
They did a pretty good job of hiding the fact that they would introduce Jeff into the story as much as they did with the first demo released a few years back. And I know people complain about the graphical downgrade, hashtag Puddlegate, which is very minute at best. Like, not even a thing to complain about at least. I don't care if a game looks like Minecraft, if it played like a great Spider-Man game, by all means, have it look however you want. I love how they are stupid enough to shoot their own men in this game. Even though they really should be dead, but hey, comic book world rules, I suppose. I do appreciate that they made the change to not give characters like these health bars. Just seems to fit the game better and would be annoying to have to deal with health bars all the time, or even worse, inconsistently.
Fisk, your men are safe. Your turn. Who runs the demons?
Maybe he's there. Maybe he isn't. Check the roof.
And that's all you hear from Fisk for the rest of the game, ladies and gentlemen. Just kind of drops out of thin air, right? I mean, it's kind of impressive for a person of his physical stature to pull off. Quote unquote. Dude, these are some uncharted levels of cinematic gameplay. This is awesome. Oh yeah. Spider pose on a helicopter? What could be more Spider-Man than this?
Hey Yuri, I caught the bad guys, but...
But what?
You might want to bring a ladder.
I always wondered how the police got the thugs down from the webbing. I mean, what did they take too long? I mean, the webbing's supposed to dissolve in an hour. Do they just stare at their impending doom until the webs dissolve and they fall?
Crap, I'm late. You coming? Nah, I gotta get to City Hall for my dad's ceremony.
And our first look of Miles. And I love this take. Well, this look of Miles. The comics always made me think he was so young, and if he was that young, he was too young in my opinion. And Into the Spider-Verse was a little thin for me, but that was just the art style. This version shows me that while yes, he is a kid, he definitely looks the part with having some actual physique to them.
Alright, tell your pops I said congrats.
Introducing while not actually introducing ganking to the MMU. What is the MMU, you ask? Well, I'm calling it the Marvel Machinimatic Universe. I'm coining it, that is officially mine. But I understand why they did it. With Ned and the MCU basically being ganky, they didn't want to confuse the general audience. Man, what is going on here? To be honest, this is a first for me, and I love how he just webs his face to the stair, and that's the end of it. Funny bugs are always a win.
Last time I gave a speech, I was in high school. Miss Steinberg gave me a C-.
Miles laughing in the background. It's funny because it just seems so realistic. Nice little small moment put in by the writing department.
Superhero. Or maybe I'm just a guy who doesn't give up.
Yes, Jeff, you are that. Right to the very end. And even though that is coming a lot sooner than it should have been.
But, instead of coffee, maybe we could have dinner instead. I could come over, I'll cook.
Smooth move, Kemosabe.
I get threats like this twice a week. Why don't you grow a pair and tell me what you want?
To watch you suffer.
While even though it's evil candor, it's still candor. Man, I know I keep talking about the spider sense in this game, but I love what they do with it from the cinematic perspective. It isn't shown much at all, but I love how everything grays out besides what is in focus, what is the imminent danger to him. And I know I said that I had a problem with that from the Spider-Man 3 game, but the difference is that was actually part of the gameplay mechanic, while this is actually part of the storytelling mechanic. It just makes the characters pop off the screen even more and works efficiently all at the same time. I don't know why, but this quick moment became a freaking meme in the Spider-Man community. Man. I know I'm also stealing this from cinemawins, but self-sacrifice. We will all miss you, Jeff. Rest in peace.
Miles! Peter!
While it isn't under the best circumstances, the two Spider-Men are feet away from each other without even knowing it. Granted, Miles hasn't been bitten yet, but still, you get what I'm getting at.
Thank God!
Wow! The sweat reflecting the light off his face is truly incredible. Gaming technology has come a long way, man. And I know I keep winning the graphics, but hey, they are that good. You know it, I know it, so just deal with it.
Mom!
Alright, now we are taking a break from Spider-Man and playing as Miles. While I am also not a big fan of these stops in the game in general, specifically right here, I understand why they put it in. To put you in Miles' shoes so you can empathize with him as a character and feel what he's feeling with just despair glooming everywhere while you try to find your, oh crap, I mean his father. You see what I'm saying? Like, it puts you in his shoes so well, and if this is gameplay that is forced upon me for the sake of amazing storytelling, I will accept it.
Mom!
Man, how have I not talked about the mocap yet? The actors do such a good job in their respective roles, especially right here with Miles trying to get the debris off his mom. You can feel the desperation. Ingenuity. Ugh. I don't know what it is about the choir in this game either, man. They do such a good job of hitting you right in the feels, and I hate it. I love it, but I hate it.
What the hell?
Miles has some balls on him. Man, he just walked into guys with guns that just shot up everyone on sight. Laying the groundwork for being the next Spidey early, I see. I like it. I like it a lot. That's dark, Insomniac, and I love it. Come on, Miles. Someone as smart as you. You know you could get more leverage and power if you use two hands and choke up on the stick, man.
Enough! We have to leave. Now!
Mr. Negative Ex Machina. Negatana. I don't know, that's the best I could come up with.
Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!
Man, that fade to black still gives me goosebumps. Man, the end of the first act shows our characters at a low point with a lot of them either hurt or dead. Ballsy to take it to this point thematically this early in the game, Insomniac. And I gotta say, I like it. I like it a lot. I know I already used that joke, but I'm keeping it. You know what? Comedy comes with 3s, but I'm sticking with 2, okay? Machinima. The use of real-time computer graphics engines to create a cinematic production. Most often, video games are used to generate the computer animation. Hey y'all, my name's Nate, and I'm the creator of MachinimaWins. Most videos, actually every video besides this, I'm going to do a mini video essay talking about the game, or at least the parts that we went through. But since I'm splitting this game into 3 parts, that's right, 3, I figured I would use this time to tell you a little bit about myself. Don't worry, I will talk about the game a little bit. So, as of you listening to this, I have been working on this video for about 2 weeks. And I gotta say, this took a lot more time than anticipated. I've always had a passion for games, and YouTube, and movies. Some of my favorite channels include cinemawins, High Top Films, Funhouse, Achievement Hunter, among a lot of others. I've always wanted to do something on YouTube, and have tried in the past with no success of sticking with it or growth. Starting to have a growing interest in video essays very recently, I wanted to try my hand in it, but do something different. And one night a couple weeks ago, I woke up from the dead of sleep with an idea of following Lee from cinemawins' footsteps and doing what he does, just for video games. And I figured since video games nowadays are very cinematic in their storytelling, why not call these videos MachinimaWins? Hey, and if I'm dead wrong in the usage of the word, do not ruin it for me. Just keep it to yourself, okay? And of course, I knew what the first game was going to be. It was Marvel's Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man. He has always been my favorite hero with my favorite comics, the OG Ultimate Spider-Man comics, and my favorite movies and games. I went and saw the first 2 Spider-Man movies as a little boy dressed up as Spider-Man and crawling around the theater. I went through 6 discs of Spider-Man 2 on PS2. And after that, as I got older, the passion for the webhead was just gone. The movies were meh at best, and the games were crap after Web of Shadows, and they killed off my boy Peter in the Ultimate Spider-Man comics. And while I loved the MCU appearance, I just didn't feel the spark. That is, until I saw the first trailer for Spider-Man on PS4. Once that hit public, I felt something again. Something I haven't felt in a long time. Passion. This game made me excited for more Spider-Man content. Opening night, I jammed out to the Sam Raimi Spider-Man score and played that game for 10 hours straight. I'm a grown-ass 21-year-old now. I am not in middle school. I'm not a squeaker. I cannot stay up all night and play video games. I got responsibilities and I'm tired. I don't pull all-nighters anymore, and that's how damn good this game is. As of now, Insomniac Spider-Man is my go-to Spider-Man. He is my definitive Spider-Man. So everyone at Insomniac, you know, the creative director Brian Entahar, the mocap actors, the animators, the writers, everyone. Round of applause. I'm going to go into this a lot more in the next videos, but I'm really excited to get this out to you guys. And honestly, if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, because I really put my heart and soul into this project. And you know what? You should press the like and subscribe button, because on top of this content, I make gaming content with my friends. We're a bunch of goofballs, and we just like to hang out and play video games and capture it and upload it. And for now, I'm going to keep everything on one channel, but if this does blow up, I will separate the entities and the content. But yeah, that's it for now, guys. Thank you for watching. It really does mean a lot to me. And stay tuned for everything great about Marvel's Spider-Man Part 2 coming to you in the near future. I'm going to try to upload one video a week, so hopefully a week from now, but I can't promise that. Like I said, this was a lot of work.